Last Friday, we talked about one program's fall from grace with Oklahoma State and coach Mike Gundy, who was promptly fired. This past Tuesday, coincidence? Yes. But now it is time to turn our attention to another faltering program, the Wisconsin Badgers. Now, I grew up cheering for the Wisconsin Badgers. I still cheer for the Wisconsin Badgers, and the team we see on the field on Saturday bears little resemblance to those teams of the past, and it starts with Coach Luke Fickell. Now, Fickell seemed like a home run hire coming out of Cincinnati, fresh off a 5-year run with his worst record being 9-3, including a trip to the playoffs in 2021. But with hindsight, Fickell's first mistake was coming in and implementing the Dairy Raid offensive system, which, don't get me wrong, is a fantastic name. I was hoping it was going to work just for the name alone, but it is a far cry from what Wisconsin football has been all about. If we look back through the history books, we see remarkable consistency out of the Badgers. They have their ebbs and flows like almost every other program does, but never finished worse than 7-6 over the last 20 years, mainly thanks to their absolutely insane run of halfbacks and offensive line. If we bring up their school leaders and career rush yards, they almost all come from that time span. Special shout out to Ron Dane, the Dane train, absolutely electric. Then when we look at some recent years of Wisconsin offense, we notice a few changes. First, we'll look at 2017, which was their best season under Paul Chryst, capped off with an Orange Bowl victory. That year, the Badgers threw the ball 23 times a game, ran it about 45 times, 223 yards, an average of 5 yards per rush. All adds up, make offense pretty easy, right? And then we bring up 2023, Wisconsin's first year under Coach Fickell, and note the differences. 36 pass attempts at Wisconsin is just about criminal. Ran it 35 times a game, 161 yards, still a solid average of 4.6 yards per rush. But then 2024 is when we start to notice this troubling trend that continues into this season so far. Rush attempts go up, which is good, but the yardage goes down, which is bad. Obviously, you're hoping if you're running the ball more, your total yardage can go up. We're not seeing that. Is that a sign? Weakening offensive line, just not having Braylon Allen anymore. A little combination of the two, perhaps. But so far this season, once again, we see pass attempts are down, rush attempts up. Good. Sounds more like Wisconsin, but total yardage way down in the dumps. Now averaging just 3.1 yards per attempt after their absolute whooping that was just handed to them at home by Maryland. And don't get me wrong, I think Maryland's pretty solid this year, but Wisconsin should never be blown out at home by the Terrapins. Sorry, Maryland fans. I think we have seen enough from Coach at this point to determine he's just not a great fit for the Badgers, who they are, who they want to be, who they have been historically. But now, can they even afford to fire him? Well, that's a completely different question.